Before we get started, if we were doing this activity in the classroom, I would be up at the whiteboard. You would be back at your tables, each with your own whiteboards, and you would just be drawing right along with me. So that's what I'm hoping you can do with this video. If you have some paper you can draw on, it could be a drawing app on a device. It could be a whiteboard if you happen to have a whiteboard. Just draw along with me. So to get started, let's draw a circle and let's draw some halves. Try to make your circles as nice and neat as possible. I'm going to draw 3 circles, and then we're going to think about how to split them in half. We already know we can split vertically, we can split horizontally, and really as long as we go through the center, we could have that dividing line be anywhere in the circle, okay? That ties a lot into symmetry, which we'll get into later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead as long as it's through the center. If I try to draw a circle here and divide it into 2 pieces, and I don't go through the center, be really careful. This is 2 pieces, but I can't say this is a half and this is a half. In order for them to be halves, they have to be equal pieces, and these are not equal. So that is a non-example. All right, let's go ahead and draw rectangles. Okay, now you can decide how you want to divide your rectangle. You could go vertically. You can go horizontally. Okay, let's have a little discussion for a second about whether or not you can divide a rectangle diagonally. If I split, let's see, from corner to corner, are those equal pieces? Think for just a minute about that. All right. The answer is yes, those are equal pieces. You may not think they look equal. That is because they are rotated. So let me show you. Here I've got this rectangle that I split into 2 pieces. They may not look like they're matching. If I just rotate one of them, so I'm turning it, and then if I'm kind of sliding it up there, notice that it is actually the exact same size. It's the same type of triangle. So these 2 triangles actually are equal to one another. And so yes, I can go ahead and divide a rectangle equally into halves. We talk a lot about angles when we do it and side lengths. If you notice, this side length for this triangle is equal to this side length. And this side length is also equal to this side length. They just look a little bit different because one is turned, and so that can be a little tricky. And we will revisit the diagonals, especially when we come to fourths. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about a square then. Go ahead and draw a square. Same thing, we can go vertically. We can go horizontally, and the square is really nice to go corner to corner. You can see that a little more easily than with the rectangle. Those are equal pieces. I could do the opposite. So remember, a square has 4 equal sides. Okay, let's go ahead and draw a number line. Number lines are really important. They're a helpful model, and we see them a lot. We're going to just show a whole, so I'm going to put a little tick mark here that says 0 and a little tick mark here that says a 1. Because I'm using halves, drawing halves, I need to split my number line from my whole. I need to split it into 2 equal pieces. So think in your head, where would the half mark be? Would the half mark be right here? And ask yourself, is this piece equal to this piece? And I can see that this is smaller than this piece, so I need to slide over And I need to split this section right here into 2 equal pieces. So I need to make my 1/2 exactly in the middle between 0 and 1. So I'm going to try to do that very nicely and neatly, and then write my 1/2 to label it. And that's halves. All right, let's go ahead and start to draw thirds. If you remember, there are 3 equal pieces. I'm going to turn them a little. And if you notice where they meet together, you kind of see the lines of from the sides of the pieces. There's kind of a capital Y. So we're going to use that as our guide. Let's draw a circle. Start in the center, put a hole in the center, a dot in the center, and then go ahead and draw like a capital Y. And there's your thirds. And they don't have to be perfect, but you can tell that you tried. Go ahead and try that a few times, get the hang of it. Okay. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and draw rectangles. I can draw vertically. Just try to make sure your pieces are about the same. This will be very important in the future, that we draw equal pieces. I can go horizontally from left to right. And if I do anything else, you've got to be really careful. Are they equal pieces? For example, let's take a look at this. What do you think? Are these 3 triangles thirds? Are these equal pieces? These 2 look about the same, but this triangle looks like a totally different type of triangle. Notice that there's a right angle in this corner, there's a right angle in this corner. The other thing we look at is this side of the triangle is the whole length. These triangle sides are half the length. So these are not equal pieces, they are not thirds. All right, let's go ahead and draw a number line. So if I go from 0 to a hole, and then I want to break this hole up into 3 equal pieces. The trick is that you only need to draw 2 lines because this counts as your 3rd line. And some people get confused because there's a little tick mark right there as well. So 1/3, but we have, so this whole piece is 1/3, this is another 1/3, and this is your 3 pieces. Some people like to draw jumps. So we've got the 1 jump, the 2nd jump, and the 3rd jump. And we're ready to go to fourths.